I'm here.
The world is so grateful.
Well, I'm a little busy.
You're only 5. How busy can you be?
I'm looking at colleges.
Oh, God, someone kill me, please.
Where the hell are they anyway?
They're Linda and the DJ. They're always late.
Not acceptable. How am I supposed to wear it like this?
Knock it off. You're not impressing me.
Does this impress you, Dakota?
Oh, my God, where are they? Get me out of here.
Hi, kids. Sorry I'm late.
Yeah. Are we to do this or not?
You don't have to be rude.
Please, Dad.
Where's your father?
Oh, my God. He's on the computer. Where else?
Hey, kids, ready to do Linda and the DJ?
Bobber, so good to see you.
What a suck-up.
Once again.
All right, can we just pretend that we're a perfectly normal family, at least while we're doing Linda and the DJ? Is that possible?
You want us to lie?
Well, you're not really lying.
Well, what would you call it?
I'd call it no cell phone, no Xbox, no nothing for a week.
Okay, we'll lie.
Okay, let's get it over with.
Here we go.
All right, it's that time. Live from the iRadio USA studios in Hauppauge, New York. It's Linda and the DJ.
And family.
Well, hello, America, and it's time for another Top 40 dedication. Today's dedication comes to us from little Judy Crenshaw in Boise, Idaho. Judy writes, Dear Mr. DJ, my dog Snuggles and I never separated. We were friends since the time she was a puppy. Snuggles has disappeared. Mommy says that Daddy stabbed Snuggles in the head and buried her in the backyard. I'm not sure about that, but as soon as Daddy gets out of prison, I'm going to find out the truth. Will you play Who Let the Dogs Out for me and Snuggles? Love, Judy. Well, sure, Judy. Here's your long-distance dedication from Judy to Snuggles. Hope Dad's doing okay. Wherever you are waking up this morning, I hope that you are waking up happy, healthy, and fine. My name is Eric Martin Koppelman, and this is Linda and the DJ. Of course, I am the DJ portion of... I'm not Linda. I mean, Linda's got... Linda's better looking than I am, so let's just put it that way. So, hope you are well wherever you are in this wonderful world of ours, and you're listening to us right now, and hopefully you're waking up or going to sleep or whatever it is that you're doing. Hopefully you are happy, wealthy, happy, and fine. Check it out. You're probably in a lot better shape than this guy. A Florida man got 20 years, and he got that for cigarette theft. Okay, they say that cigarette smoking can be hazardous to your health, and it really was hazardous to this guy's health, but he stole $600 worth of cigarettes from a convenience store, and he got 20 years. All right, so now a jury in Pensacola, they convicted this 48-year-old Robert Spellman of burglary and grand theft in August. They say he took 10 cartons of cigarettes from a stockroom in the store manager's office last December, and he was sentenced this past Friday. Now, the Pensacola News-Journal has reported that he had, and get this, 14 felonies and 31 misdemeanor convictions prior to the cigarette theft, and that qualified him as a habitual felony offender, and it led to the lengthy 20-year prison sentence. So the question is, folks, did the sentence justify the crime? Does it need to be taken into consideration what the crime was? In this case, you're talking $600 worth of cigarettes, or is it proper that Florida is saying, nope, you're a 3-time loser, we're going to lock you up for 20 years? So that's the question I have. Let me know. Talk on the chat room. I want to know. I want to know what you think. Was a 20-year sentence proper, or should they have looked at it as if it's $600, it's a cigarette theft? Let's take that into consideration. I don't know. Let me know what you think right here on Linda and the DJ. All right, if you know anything about the history of iRadio USA or Linda and the DJ, you know that we love finding new, interesting artists, musicians, and their music. We love doing that. So check it out from the files of Reverb Nation, coming to you from Loganville, Georgia. Here's Presley Sullivan and her song, Crosses and Flags. Check it out right here with Linda and the DJ.
Why do we hide from the truth? Our founding fathers weren't ashamed of the old red, white, and blue. We need a revolution. We gotta change our ways before time runs out and Jesus comes for final judgment day. A few more crosses and a few more flags, then maybe this world wouldn't be so mad. A little less crime and a little more Bible. Yeah, a little red, white, and blue revival. A little less good world gone bad. A few more crosses and a few more flags. This land here is my home, and its freedom don't come cheap. So don't you dare put my flag under your 2 feet. My roots are in this ground, and I'm still proud to say it. I've been saved by the grace of God. Bless the USA. A few more crosses and a few more flags, then maybe this world wouldn't be so mad. A little less crime and a little more Bible. Yeah, a little red, white, and blue revival. A little less good world gone bad. A few more crosses and a few more flags. God bless the USA. Singing God bless the USA. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. Singing God bless the USA. Yeah. A few more crosses and a few more flags, then maybe this world wouldn't be so mad. A little less crime and a little more Bible. Yeah, a little red, white, and blue revival. A little less good world gone bad. I said a little less good world gone bad. A few more crosses and a few more flags. Yeah. Woo!
Yeah, check her out on ReverbNation.com. That's Presley Sullivan. She's a country artist from Loganville, Georgia. Check out the song. It's called Crosses and Flags. Folks, if you're listening and you like it, go to Reverb. Go to Reverb Nation, look her up, Presley Sullivan, and like her, fan her, do all that type of stuff. Because, you know, these people put their heart and their soul into their performance, into their music and everything like that. I know. Trust me, we've been doing this for a long time. We've been in the studio here since like 2007. We originally started with the intention of being able to promote new and upcoming artists. So you're going to want to do that. All right? We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with Linda and the DJ.
Hey, this is Tom Mealy. The number again, 1-800-95 New York. Okay, here's the deal. For years, I've been telling you, if you've been involved in an accident of any kind here on Long Island and you suffered a serious, debilitating, or even a soft tissue injury, you need a serious, tough law firm behind you. And you can bet the insurance company has them on their side. You need a firm that's here on Long Island. A firm that's not afraid to walk away from the first offer. Remember, we work for you. Listen, our team of personal injury attorneys, and there is a difference. We fight every day for people just like you. I've told you, we're not new at this. This is what we do. And wasting time with firms that offer false promises that don't get it and can't do it hurts the possibility of any recovery on your case. Call us 24/7. That number, 1-800-95 New York. Or visit our website at 95newyork.com. Eric.com.
Eric, what are you doing?
I'm taking care of this computer problem once and for all, Linda. Get out of the way.
Eric, put the chainsaw down, please.
Nope, Linda. I'm taking care of the computer problem once and for all.
Let's just call Computer LI.
How do I call Computer LI?
Well, let's call Carlos at 631-830-5164.
Which location? Is that the 157 Middle Country Road in Middle Island or the 1800 Middle Country Road in Center Reach?
We can call either one, Eric.
And what's that number again?
631-830-5164.
830-5164?
Yes.
Computer LI has grown to almost 70% in the last 5 years with more than 1,500 satisfied customers. Computer LI working on becoming the next best provider to offer computer repair services on Long Island. At Computer LI, they strive to deliver excellent service and great customer support and the best value.
631-830-5164.
What's that number again?
631-830-5164. Now put the chainsaw away, Eric.
Okay, Linda. For now, I'll put the chainsaw away and I'll call
Computer LI.
Hey guys, it's Martin, and I got something really important to say. You know I'm a kid, right? And let's face it, kids like to play in the basement, especially a finished basement. But let's stop and think for a minute. What if there was a fire? Have you ever seen those small basement windows? Geez, how is a kid supposed to get out of one of those? Not to mention a fireman get in. Now come on now. Let's stop and think for a second, because I have the solution. Long Island Egress Pros. They'll completely install 2 egress windows in your basement. Did you know that if you have a finished basement, by code, you gotta have egress windows? You want your family to be safe, don't you? I mean, just imagine, what if a cute kid like me couldn't get out of the basement? So do the right thing. Give Long Island Egress Pros a call at 516-224-7576. One more time, 516-224-7576. Egress Windows. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. Like I always say, it's not rocket science, people. It's safety. Because the most important part of any escape plan is the way out. Don't forget to check out their website at www.egresspro.com. Tell them Martin sent.
Make your morning a little better. Mix and match 2 of these McDonald's breakfast sandwiches for just $4. Like the Bacon, Egg, and Cheese McGriddles, the Sausage McMuffin with egg, or the Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit. Start your morning with a delicious deal. Breakfast at McDonald's.
All right, welcome back to Linda and the DJ. Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody is doing well. You know, these breakfast commercials, they really make me hungry. But basically what I want right now, I want a cup of coffee. So I don't care. We're nationwide, worldwide now. So wherever you are, bring me a cup of coffee. I don't care. I don't care who you are. Fly here, take a train, bus, whatever you got to do. Just get me a cup of coffee. You know, no, I'm kidding. I'll get my own coffee. But did you hear about this? The Netflix phishing scam. That's PHISH. ING, phishing scam, right? So check it out. So, you know, crooks are always looking for a way to screw you. They really are. They'll find their way somehow, and they look for the websites or the organizations that have the most subscribers, aka one of which being Netflix. So what's happening here is they are sending out phishing emails, and it's headlined, "Update your payment information." It says, "We face some difficulties with the current billing information of your own. We will try again, but please at the same time update your payment details." And of course, there's a link at the bottom of the email that pretends to take you to the official Netflix website. Guys, be careful out there. If you're getting something like that in your email, requesting information, requesting you to update your payment information or your account details and things like that from Netflix, beware. There is definitely a fraud system going on out there. You want to be very, very careful, not only with Netflix, but, you know, in general. If you get an email and it's asking you to update or to, you know, ask for account information and things like that, check it out. Make sure you're dealing with legitimate, you know, the legitimate companies such as Netflix or your bank or whatever it is. I know of more people, and I read more stories on a daily basis of people getting screwed over and losing their hard-earned money from, you know, crap just like this. It happens. It just, be careful. Don't become a statistic, you know. And if you know anybody out there that is a big Netflix person, let them know. Let them know that you heard it here on Linda the DJ to be careful. You know, don't don't answer the emails. Don't give up your personal information. Be very careful with the phishing scams out there. Okay, so that's your Netflix warning for today. All right. So I think it's time for a little bit more. I'm going to pull another song here from Reverb Nation. So why don't you just sit back, relax, check it out right here on Linda and the DJ. This one is coming to you from, let's see, Los Angeles, California. The artist's name is Hannah Anders. Hannah Anders, and the name of this song, Drinking Him Wonderful. Check it out right here, Linda and the DJ.
Well, he's a 2, maybe a 3. Why does he keep looking at me? He's got a face that's made for radio. I look left, I look right. That old bartender ain't my type. It's just him and I hope he leaves me alone. I'm drinking him wonderful, but I've got a long way to go. So barkeep another round, pour a shot for me now. I'm drinking him wonderful. He's up to 5, maybe a 6. Did he just blow me a kiss? I don't wanna be rude. I might ask him to dance. I give a wink, he gives a smile. His missing teeth look kinda cute after a while. I'm beginning to think that maybe I've got a chance. I'm drinking him wonderful, but I've got a little way to go. So barkeep another round, pour a shot for me now. I'm drinking him wonderful. I said, baby, with that nose ring, toupee from Sears. Well, have you ever thought of starting a modeling career? Well, I've got some connections, baby, just say when. 'Cause through the bottom of this shot glass, you're looking like a 10. I'm thinking he's wonderful. So hey, baby, won't you drive me home? I don't need another round. Come and dance with me now. I drank him wonderful. I don't need another round. Put the shot glass down. I drank him wonderful. Y'all twins?
It's out with the old and in with the fresh. The Subway Fresh Fit Menu. With 2 servings of veggies and 24 grams of whole grains, Subway has 8 delicious 6-inch subs with 400 calories or less. Start fresh with the Fresh Fit Menu, only at Subway.
My dad's a little upset. He could be watching the game right now, but instead he's taking care of the yard work. It doesn't have to be this way. Samson's Landscaping. They take care of everything so your dad doesn't have to. I mean, look at him out there, acting all crazy and stuff. Anyone in their right minds would use Samson's Landscaping so their dad wouldn't be on the front lawn acting like a fool. I must be adopted. Don't let your dad scar you forever. Call Samson's Landscaping today. 631-346-7286.
I'm Dara Khosrowshahi, Uber's new CEO. Since joining 9 months ago, my priority has been to listen to you, to cities and communities, and to my own employees. I've seen a lot of good. We've changed the way people get around. We've provided new opportunities. But moving forward, it's time to move in a new direction. And I want you to know just how excited I am to write Uber's next chapter with you. This begins with new leadership and a new culture, and you're going to see improvements to our service with better pickups and ride quality for both riders and drivers. One of our core values as a company is to always do the right thing. And if there are times when we fall short, we commit to being open, taking responsibility for the problem, and fixing it. And you've got my word that we're charting an even better road for Uber and for those that rely on us every day.
If you're a homeowner here on Long Island, then you know there's nothing worse than dealing with a cesspool problem. And when cesspool problems occur, you want to be able to call the guys over at Outback Cesspool Service. They've been servicing Long Island for generations, and they specialize in commercial and all types of residential work. Septic tanks, cesspools, dry wells, and blockages, from sinks to toilets to anything else. They install new precast cesspools, and they offer a free estimate. Family owned and operated, they pride themselves on exceptional service and personal friendly relationships with each one of their customers. Give Outback Cesspool a call at 631-289-6200. 631-289-6200. That's 631-289-6200. Outback Cesspool. It just doesn't get any better than this.
All right, the IRS estimates that taxpayers have lost more than $65 million because of phone scams related to taxes. Now, as you might expect, these scams are most common during tax season. Reporter Paige Flager got a firsthand look at the scams when her phone rang.
The voice on the other end of the line said he was calling from the Pennsylvania State Police. He rattled off some information about me, my full name, my email address, where I went to college, when I graduated, and told me the IRS had a warrant out for my arrest for not paying taxes on my college scholarship. I told him the whole thing sounded fishy, and this was his response.
Can you see my phone number, ma'am, appearing on your cell phone right now?
Yes.
Go and just type in the whole number online and see which office and which department you're speaking to.
I mean, I'm seeing that that's the Pennsylvania State Police number. He then told me I could make the whole thing go away by buying Apple gift cards. That's when I realized it was a scam, but not everyone is so lucky.
If I wanted to get a loan, I can't, because my credit right now is not that great.
That's Michelle Albitz of Bartow, Pennsylvania. She got a credit card cash advance for more than $10,000 last year when she fell victim to a tax scam, and she hasn't been able to pay all of that money back. She got the call while she was at work.
And it said this was the IRS. I owed money, and if I did not call back this number, the local authorities would be after me.
Albitz is one of more than 13,000 people in the U.S. who has fallen for a tax scam in the last 5 years, according to the Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration. California has the highest number of victims and total dollars lost, and New York and Texas are close behind.
A lot of people are afraid of the IRS. And so when you hear those words, when someone calls, I think it intimidates a lot of folks on the receiving end of the phone call.
That's Ed Worth, a special agent with the Criminal Investigation Division at the IRS. He says that phone scams can be spotted because they come out of nowhere, and the request will seem really urgent, like with my scammer.
So if you want to resolve the matter, this should be right now, right away.
Often they'll threaten legal action, like arrest or deportation, and they say to make the problem go away, they need personal information or money. My scammer was trying to convince me that a gift card from the Apple Store or a grocery store chain was considered a government bond.
If you want to resolve the matter, ma'am, you have to go to the government-certified store or government-certified location, and you have to purchase a federal bond for the amount of $7,980.
Con artists can make any number appear on your caller ID, which is how they made it look like they were calling me from the state police number, and how they can even make it look like they're calling from the real IRS number. That can make these scams confusing, but Ed Worth from the IRS says people just need to remember one simple rule.
If you have not received communication from us via the U.S. mail, we're not going to be calling you.
He urges people not to let fear of the tax man make you the next victim of a tax scam. For NPR News, I'm Paige Flager.
You know, each and every day when I'm checking out local news, There's car accidents with people getting killed, motorcyclists being killed, and I'm sad. It really is a sad thing that it has to be reported at all. But folks, on a daily basis, I mean, come on, folks. I mean, what the heck, Today, an East Islip teen was killed after crashing his motorcycle on the Heckscher State Parkway. According to police, the 19-year-old was driving a 2015 Kawasaki motorcycle northbound in the right lane of Heckscher State Parkway, just north of the Timber Point Road, when he lost control, was ejected around 2:30 p.m. This happened on Saturday afternoon, by the way. The motorcycle continued onto the right shoulder where it struck a tree and came to rest. The driver was transported to Southside Hospital in Bayshore, where he succumbed to his injuries. Now, they have set up a GoFundMe account. It was created by an East Islip resident. Identified the driver as Chris Worth, that's W-E-R-T-H. The fundraiser was created to raise $5,000 for his family to help pay for funeral expenses. As of Monday, they had raised $8,865. Now, Chris, they say, was one of the funniest people that I had ever met and had such a contagious spirit. That is the creator of the GoFundMe account, James LaPiccolo. He wrote that on the page, and I'll say that again. He was one of the funniest people that I had ever met and had such a contagious spirit. So basically, if you're charity-minded and you want to check it out, the GoFundMe account, once again, it's under the last name of Worth, W-E-R-T-H. And, folks, not to say that this was anybody's fault, but first off, if you're riding a bike, slow down. Because I got to tell you, I'm out there on the roads every single solitary day. And I can't tell you the amount of motorcycles that race through traffic, come dodging in and out. And I am shocked. I truly am shocked that I have not seen more people get hurt on bikes by riding that way. So please, all right, please, if you're a motorcyclist, slow down and pay attention, because to be honest, I ride a bike. They're not looking out for you. You got to look out for them. And if you're doing something, make sure whatever you're doing, you can control. Please. All right. We don't need to report news stories like this. Not here, not anywhere. Especially a teen. It's crazy. Also, a pedestrian is in critical condition after being hit by a car in Bayshore on Sunday evening, and that's according to Suffolk Police. Carlos Flores, 36, of Bayshore, was crossing 5th Avenue near Massachusetts Avenue when he was struck by a 2016 Nissan Rogue that was traveling northbound on 5th Avenue about 7:45 p.m. The driver of the Nissan, 22-year-old Karina Huerto of Central Islip, was not injured in the crash. Suffolk County Police are investigating. And again, if you're driving, I know sometimes it's difficult out there, but if you have to clean your window, if you have to get, there's such a thing as, and you notice this on a lot of cars nowadays, the headlights get screwed up. Okay, you can buy a self-cleaning kit. You could go on YouTube, okay, and do a search for restoration of my headlights. And there's simple household products that you can use to restore your headlights so that you can see. Because I know I see a lot of cars out there that are driving around where the lights suck. They just suck, and no matter where you are, whether you're here on Long Island or wherever you are, if you're having trouble seeing, you might not be seeing that person crossing the road. You might not be seeing that motorcycle. You might not see the car in front of you, so do something about it. Help yourself, please. Anyway, all right, listen, that about wraps it up for me today. I'm back. We're back. Linda and the DJ is back. All right, after a little hiatus there, we are back. We've discussed it. We want to do it. We're going to do it. You know what I'm saying. But we're going to, we want to bring good radio. That's what we want to do. So let us know what you think. Please, let us know what you think. You can email us at lindaandthedj@gmail.com. That's lindaandthedj@gmail.com. And I assure you, every email that we receive, we will respond to, whether it be positive or negative, preferably the positives. But it is what it is. All right, so for right now, for Linda and the DJ, my name is Eric Martin Koppelman. Hey, let's make it a great day. When I was little, my dad used to tell me, Eric, if you just shut up and listen, maybe you'll learn something that you don't know already. And you know what? That's not exactly true, because my dad was a gentleman and he never told me to shut up. But he told me sometimes in life, sit back and listen to what other people have to say. Ask questions. Find out about them. Learn something different. Learn something that you don't know. and put it to use in your own life. Welcome to Interview with Eric Martin Koppelman. Well, yes, another episode of Interview, and like I always say, my dad was a gentleman, so he never really he hinted, just be, Eric, be quiet, just listen to people before you open your mouth. Take a breather and listen to what people have to say. And I got to tell you, it certainly is or has been some of the best advice. Don't we get the best advice sometimes, from dads and moms and uncles and aunts and grandmothers and everything like that? But sometimes we're so young and we think we know it all. It's not till we get to the age I'm at now where we realize, hey, they had something on the ball there. Well, anyway, welcome to Interview. My name is Eric Martin Koppelman. As you know, I'm an internet radio broadcaster, and I pride myself on talking to amazing people, as I am today speaking with Steve Mason. Now, Steve, he's Long Island born, New York based. He's an actor, a stunt performer. This guy, let me tell you something, ladies. He is like, drool material. But anyway, New York based actor and stunt performer who's been involved in many popular and award winning shows. He's been on, check out this list. You ready for this resume? Gotham, Blue Bloods, my favorite show, Feed the Beast, The Blacklist, Law & Order, SVU, Daredevil, Orange is the New Black, Happy, and The Affair, among others. Now, his movie, the movie, which is now going to be premiering. It's going to be premiering at the Belmore Theater, and we're going to give you all the information about that. It's going to be premiering at the Belmore Theater here in Long Island, and I'll tell you more about that theater because it's an amazing place. If you've never had the opportunity to visit that theater, you're going to want it not only for the movie that Steve has written, produced, and directed and is in, but because of the theater itself. It's really a beautiful place to experience a premiere. Now, in the movie 8, Steve plays the lead actor. He plays the role of his own dad, his own father, Richard Tony Mason. He wrote, casted, and co-directed, co-produced, and executive produced the film. I want to welcome to the show Steve Mason. Steve, how are you today?
I am very well, Eric. Thank you for that introduction. I thought you were just going to keep going. I wouldn't have to say anything for the entire interview.
I like to talk. I just keep talking.
And I do too. I've been burning the candle at both ends with with the release of the film. It's been a journey. It's been a tremendous amount of work, all good stuff. But as anybody knows, nothing happens until something moves, and I haven't stopped in a year.
I remember.
I wrote the script in October of last year, and since it has had so much momentum that I haven't stopped.
I remember because you were in my studio back then, and I remember when you started talking about this, and now what was wanting to be has now become a reality. Why 8, Steve? Tell us about the concept of the movie. What drove you to do this? What drove you to the movie 8?
Okay, so I'm thankful and appreciative of you giving my resume out there. And as you know, I've been in almost all of the television shows that film in New York. And what was happening is I would die on one show and get brought back as a different character, and you can only do that so many times. So I was starting to, burn the bridge, as they say, and I was not being able to be brought back on these television shows. So I wanted to write a larger part for myself, give myself my own opportunity. And when I thought about it, I said, well, what am I going to write about? And it instantly came to me, what better story than my own? Not to say that mine is better, worse, or indifferent than anybody else's, but my journey has been quite interesting, and I think there's a lot of messages to share. So I started back with one of the things that, as we say, make us who we are. My father was a Suffolk County police officer who took his own life, committed suicide. And I, as an 8-year-old boy, would find the body after he had done this. So, there's the title for you. And we deal with a lot of socially relevant topics in the movie. And those topics are probably more socially relevant today than they were when they took place back in the early 1980s. The movie is a period. It's a short movie. It's governed by SAG, which is the Screen Actors Guild. So it's a SAG signatory project. and it's a short film. And, we deal with alcoholism and depression and mild yet inexcusable domestic violence, suicidal behavior, and ultimately suicide. There's also a touch of police brutality and excessive force. Without giving the whole thing away, it's important for your viewers to know, who is this monster that I wrote a movie about? This monster was my dad. And he wasn't always a nice person, and he wasn't always a good husband or a good father. But the one thing that he had a lot of pride in was being a police officer. And the opportunity to go from a blue-collar welder, that's what he did for a living before he was a cop, and he was a drinker, and, there was times when he came home and ignored me if I was excited to see him as a 3-year-old, or my mom didn't cook dinner one night and he emptied the contents of the refrigerator onto the floor. My mom was very strong for a woman, especially in that time, that era, I should say, because she was strong enough to take my sister and I. My sister's a few years older than I am, and she was strong enough to take us out of the situation and say, you know what, you need to get yourself together, because the way that it's going, you're not going to see your family anymore. Your wife and your kids are going to be gone. And so with that ultimatum, he decided he was going to stop drinking, and he was going to go after one of his passions, which was to be a Suffolk County police officer. And he went through the academy, and within 3 years, he was about ready to take his next level sergeant test, and a routine arrest went horribly wrong. The perpetrator or accused perpetrator stood up. He was handcuffed, and he stood up and went after a superior officer. And my father instinctively pushed the guy back down into his seat. And when he did, the guy hit his head on the wall. And he was probably the stories I heard were from my father's partners and people in the department. And the guy was probably more embarrassed than he was hurt, but he instantly was threatening to sue my father, to sue the department and take his badge from him. And it wasn't the first thing that broke my dad. It was probably the last straw. And he started drinking again right from there. And it only took what was 5 years of sobriety only took about 6 weeks before he would end up killing himself.
Really?
Yeah.
Suicide is, you're not the first person today that I've spoken to,
right,
that I haven't heard the word suicide. It's so rampant, not only here on Long Island, but across the country.
Yeah, and in the world.
It is true. And you're talking about a respected, sober officer of the law, all right, and who himself now, ladies and gentlemen, listeners that are listening, I want you to picture this now, will face jail time, and probably one of the worst things that a place that a cop could be would be in jail, all right, dealing with that type of situation for anybody, but especially someone that has put people there, and fear, anxiety. Steve, I know I can't imagine. Well, I can, I guess, how you felt at 8 years old. When you found your dad's body. But are you mad at your dad still? Are you mad? What feelings do you have towards your father right now? If you could say something to your dad right now after doing this movie, if you could tell your father something or say something to your father, what would that message be to him?
I believe in what I've coined this phrase is to eat your pie. And what I mean by that is I say that PIE is there's perfection in everything. And without the series of events that I went through, I wouldn't be the man I am today. And I'm quite happy with the man I am today. Now, don't get me wrong. Almost every interview I've done regarding the promotion of this film, I've been in tears. And I plan on being in tears at the premiere. And I thought I had processed all of these emotions many, many years ago. But as soon as I started writing it, it was so authentic and it was so heartfelt that I couldn't help but, to get emotional with it. And, the one thing that the one thing that I've been in therapy since I was since I was 8. My mother right away was like, who knows what can happen to a child when he comes across something like that so will forever be etched in stone. Again, my story is not better or worse than anybody else's. Everybody has their own journey that they go through. But for an 8-year-old to go through that, I would venture to say that most people would agree that it would be a forever changing moment right there, and something that would be concretized in your mind and really etched into your soul for the rest of your days.
Absolutely.
I could never get those images out of my head and how it happened and the day that it happened. And I never ran from it. But the one thing that most of the therapists thought I was going to have to deal with was guilt. Because, truth be told, I wasn't going to leave the house that morning. My sister had a Newsday paper